Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new Division video. In today's video, we're going to be comparing the Sentry's Call gear set alongside with the Strikers gear set. Now, obviously, I've been using these two gear sets a lot in the past, maybe 2 to 3 weeks now, especially since I got my Urban MDR, since I've been grinding and farming Lexington for basically the past week and a half, 2 weeks now, and I finally got it. But anyways, I wanted to make this comparison video for one. I've been testing out a lot of different builds, and I've been having a lot of success with both of them. Don't get me wrong, they're both very, very good gear sets. But also, people in my stream and also people have been commenting on my videos asking me which gear set I like more, so I really thought I would take the time to make a video explaining maybe the differences between them, maybe which one excels a little bit more in which, and basically just give you guys facts and reviewing the gear sets a little bit more in depth on why I like one gear set more than the other. But like I said, don't get me wrong, both these gear sets are extremely good. They're both good at different scenarios for different types of players as well, with different weapons. But yeah, I'm going to give you guys my best answer at the end of the video, so you guys will have to watch the entire video to see which gear set I like more. But like I said, I'm going to give you guys the best facts and my personal opinion that I can do to maybe help you guys figure out which gear set you guys might want to use if you guys are stuck between these two at this current moment in time. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys do, make sure you guys drop a like on it. If we go for 30 likes on this video, that'd be awesome. And also, guys, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. The support has been absolutely insane the past month now. I thank you guys for that. And yeah, comment down below with which gear set you guys like more. And yeah, let's get right into the video. Alright, guys, so first we're going to talk about the Strikers gear set. Talk about Sentry's Call second. And then after we finish Sentry's Call gear set, I'll tell you guys a little bit about the groundbreaking things that I found with these gear sets onto why I choose one over the other. So I hope you guys enjoy that. But yeah, let's get right into the Strikers. So first off, if you guys were not aware of what Strikers basically did, I'll give you guys a quick overview of what they do and all the bonuses you get and what they do. So first off, the 2-piece bonus gives you that bonus 20% stability. 3-piece gives you that extra 10% enemy armor damage. And then lastly, the 4-piece is every consecutive hit deals 1% damage. It goes up to 100%, and every time you miss one shot, no matter what kind of gun you're using, that bonus goes down by a 2% margin. And then obviously the bonus is reduced by 1% every second. Obviously if they didn't add that, the gear set would just like sort of max out and never go down. It'd be super overpowered. But yeah, obviously this gear set is for extremely accurate players. I just want to throw that out there. So if you guys have really never used either of these two gear sets and you really haven't experimented with the Striker before, just take note that you need to be an extremely accurate player with this. Obviously some guns that you might like using, SMGs, maybe something like a MP7, an assault rifle, maybe something like an ACR, P416, lightweight M4, a police M4, or maybe even an LVOAC. Shotguns, basically any shotgun, as long as you can be extremely accurate without missing shots. It's just about impossible to miss shots with a shotgun because they shoot very, very large amounts of shots at one time. And then lastly, stacking is a major key for this gear set. Obviously, I'll go over a PvP instance and a PvE instance, basically giving you guys a general example of what I like to do with these gear sets and basically what some of my friends like doing with this gear set as well. For a PvP instance, usually what we do is if we're in the Dark Zone or Last Stand, usually we try stack into around 30 to 35%, so basically 35 shots in a row, killing maybe an elite or a boss or some type of bot to get our stack percentage up to maybe 30-35%. And then by the time we get to 30-35%, it starts counting down maybe to 20 to 25 to 30%, depending on how fast we find someone in the Last Stand. And then usually we just straight up just unload our ammunition into the enemy, and it does a lot more damage than not having any stacks at all. That's the way I use that gear set. For PvE instance, generally it's just pretty easy to stack on bots. They don't really move that much. They're not going to be rolling around, jumping, throwing grenades at you, throwing seeker mines at you, throwing shock turrets at the ground. So generally, it's pretty easy to stack bots, especially if the big LMG bosses or any type of name bosses that take a lot of hits. You can get a lot of stacks. You can usually stack it up to 80, 90, even 100% usually, depending on what kind of weapon you have and how many ammo you have in a clip as well. But yeah, that does it for Striker. We'll go on to Sentry's Call next. Going to Sentry's Call, if you guys do not know what these Sentry's Call bonuses are, 2% is the accuracy, the 3% is that 10% headshot damage, which is extremely helpful. And then lastly, the 4-piece talent for the bonus is every headshot using a semi-automatic weapon marks the enemy, and every mark you get actually helps with 5% damage inflicted on that target. And also take note that it lasts for 30 seconds, so maybe, you know, miss a few shots, or you have to reload your gun, or you have to use a heal or throw a grenade. It lasts 30 seconds. You have plenty of time to reload your gun, use a heal, throw a grenade, throw a skill down, whatever you might be doing. You got 30 seconds. And the good thing about this is it counts your stacks even if someone else in your group is using it. So if you hit it and then someone else hits it, stacks them and keeps on stacking them. Obviously it maxed out 3 because if it didn't, you'd be doing a lot of damage and basically be able to one-shot people with basically any single fire gun. Also, I just want to throw this out there. This gear set is basically made for semi-automatic weapons. For me personally, I like using the Urban MDR with this gear set. It's very, very helpful. It's very good, and I'm extremely accurate with the gear set as well. Obviously, it's a little bit easier to use this gear set maybe than something like Strikers, because Strikers, you have to be extremely accurate. Something like Sentry's Call, you might be able to shoot a little bit more bullets down range, and headshots, for me personally, in my opinion, are a little bit easier to get than landing 30 to 40 shots in a row. So obviously, once again, made for semi-automatic weapons. Some weapons that you might be want to use, once again, like I just said, maybe Urban MDR. If you don't have an Urban MDR and you've been farming for a long time and you don't have it, you might be using something like a shotgun, or an SVD, or an MK14, or a Scar H. Anything that is semi-automatic you might be using with this gear set, because obviously if you're not, you're basically wasting the 4-piece bonus. Then obviously the marks, for me personally, like I said, they're fairly easy to get, especially when you'll be able to shoot a lot of bullets down range with semi-automatic weapons. And most of them are pretty decently accurate for the most part. Triple stacks are easy to get, and then that 5% extra damage increase for 30 seconds. And then for PvP and PvE, I like this gear set a little bit more for PvP because I like seeing all those damage reductions when I hit someone in the head with the anytime marksman rifle that I might be using. And obviously every time you get a mark, it gives that extra 5%. So you guys probably want to know which gear set I use more, and for me right now personally, it definitely has to be Sentry's Call over Striker. Now obviously if you guys are a very accurate person, don't just throw Sentry's Call out the window. It's really still a good gear set, I promise you guys it really is, but by all means, if you guys are an accurate player, then, you know, go towards Striker. You know, if you're accurate with an MP7 or you're really accurate with the lightweight M4, then by all means, go towards Striker. Build a Striker build. It's super underrated. A lot of people really don't understand how super good it can be for PvP. But for me, like I said, I'm really not all that accurate of a player, and that's the groundbreaking thing that gets me over these two gear sets, which is the reason why I use Sentry's Call. It's just straight up that fact. I'm not really all that accurate of a player, and with something like an MDR or a SVD or Scar H, I'm able to shoot one bullet at a time, being a little bit more accurate than shooting a lot of bullets down range with something like a lightweight M4 or an MP7. And obviously, I find it a little bit more easier to get headshots than landing 30 to 40 shots in a row, so that's the reason why I use Sentry's Call. But yeah, guys, I'd like to know your guys' take on these two gear sets. Which one do you guys like running a little bit more? But for me right now, Sentry's Call is my choice. Like I always say, could change. Who knows? 1.7 might do something to these gear sets. We never know. But for right now, in 1.6.1, Sentry's Call is definitely my choice. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, make sure you guys drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.